Hi, everyone. I'm Greg Benner with Keller Williams here in Las Vegas. And well, I'll get this out of the way here before we start. If you have a referral anywhere across the country, in the United States, globally, give me a call. Let me know. I can find you a good agent. I can find your friend a good agent. If you have somebody coming into town or you know somebody who's just looking to sell or buy right here in Las Vegas, let me know, please. I live on those referrals. Thanks very much. Today, I want to go over the state of our current market here again and do some follow-up on what we've looked at already. So if you're going to be a home seller, please take a look at why buyers will be out soon to find their new homes. And please take a good long look at the past 6 months on the chart showing median home prices. What are you waiting for? Get on the market. On new listings coming on the market is at the slowest pace that I have on record. That equals less competition for you. That's right. Hardly any listings are coming on the market. That means there's not a big buildup of inventory. That means when the buyers are out there, they're going to have to come see your home. And if you're a home buyer sitting on the sidelines, watch to see what is taking place in our housing market. Look at the historic comparisons we're about to review. Once the slow period of seasonality has ended, what do you think is going to happen? Remember, the second half of the year always has a downward trend. So let's see what happens here come springtime. We're ending that seasonality period now. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so right here we have the number of units sold. And we're going all the way back here to the beginning of 2006. So you can see where we are now here at the end of 2022. This data goes up to December of 2022, where we have in November and December, roughly just a little bit more than 1,500 homes sold per month. So we can see that that is the lowest number sold, going way on back here. Gosh, that takes us all the way to, let me see here, lowest number of homes sold since March 2008. And we know what was going on in the housing market in 2008, right? And that is actually even lower than the lockdowns in 2020, where we're at right here. So we've even gone lower than that number right here on number of houses sold. Interesting stuff, eh? Interesting stuff. So here we were earlier in the year, and we come on down, number of houses sold right there. Now we will look at our number of available units here next. But as you can see, during each year, each of these little boxes here, that's a 2-year period. So in the middle is another December, January time right in here. So you can see every year we come on down here from the middle of the year, back up to the middle of the year and straight on down again. Same thing on just about every one of these years. Happening just about the same way here, as you can see. So here we come. This is the number of available units on the market right now. And this goes back to the 2009 period right here. Looks like about halfway through the year of 2009, back pre-2010. So this is how many units are on the market. And we can see where we are right now is right here. So I believe this was back in September, the pinnacle right here so far. This, of course, is the periods where houses were just flying off the shelves like crazy, post the pandemic period there. And right now, I'd say we're not far off of historic norms. How's about you? You seem to be historic norms going back to 2013. You could even say 2012. I mean, we dipped down and came back up again. But I don't think we're far off of historic norms right there. It doesn't seem to be out of whack. It appears to my eyes to be right around the normal amount for the previous 10 years or so, and with the number of homes sold the lowest since March of 2008. Why isn't inventory gaining steam? So we've got the lowest number of homes sold since March of 2008, but our inventory is not crazily out of whack, right? So 2 points that pop right in my mind right now are, we know builders have not been producing enough new construction homes at a rate to keep pace with demand. And they have not done so since the Great Recession back in 2008 period. They kind of pulled back then and have not gone out and met demand, to be honest with you. So we're still in a period of a shortage with enough housing for people. I mean, heck, we're welcoming 250,000 new people a month lately across the border, and they have to live somewhere. So the new construction, if we keep at a brisk pace of building, that should take 5 to 7 years to correct. And point two takes us right to my next bullet point here. So here we have new listings coming on the market, and you can see that this is the lowest point on record here of new listings coming on the market. And we can also see the seasonality of this as we come into the end of each year. That is the low point for each year as we go on through here. Each and every year, without fail, we can see that. Isn't that something? Really alerts you when you get to see it in a fashion like this, doesn't it? So here we are, a number of new listings coming on the market, which is the lowest on this record. Now, we definitely take a similar nosedive in the second half of every year, as you can see from the chart, but we are experiencing the lowest levels in modern times of new listings coming on the market. Well, part of that is homeowners are locked in at around a 3% rate on their current mortgages. And they seem to agree that they don't want to give that up too easily, especially when buyers have pulled back so much. But remember, there are people who have to sell for a number of reasons always, whether that's job loss, job transfer, have outgrown the current home, life and death, etc. So there's always reasons that homes are being purchased and sold. And we need more homes on the market, it looks like to me. Folks are holding on to them. So if you have, say, a home that expired and didn't sell, you had it for sale for 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, and it ended up not selling, this is a great time to get it up there, because those buyers are going to see things like this, and not having listings come on the market and sellers being locked into their rates and not wanting to sell, that is, probably not going to cause us to get into the same craziness we had last spring and the past couple of years here. But I can expect things to turn around a bit different than it is right now. Once we get a little bit further here into 2023, because people are going to want to get into homes. You can only hold off so long. Like I said, life has its moments that make you buy and sell homes. So let me share with you here this composite of the last 3 charts I showed you, all on one chart here. And we do have different axes, 3 different axes here. This is for the number of units sold, The green one, of course, matches the green line. That's the inventory number of available units for sale. And the red one is the number of new listings. So they don't quite measure up there. Kind of a little bit the same, but not really. So you have to, when you're looking at them, take that with a grain of salt, the thousands that are included there. And you can just see the patterns that are matching each other and coming across here over time as we move along here. So number of units sold, the blue line. Here we go. Just took us a nosedive, really trend line from here to here. And the number of available units, like we had discussed earlier, we seem to be right along with historic norms, I would say. I don't think we're far off from that. And as you can see, that actually during normal times here kind of comes down somewhat here in the beginning of the years and then heads up a little bit. Like here in 2018, I believe that they had raised interest rates towards the end of the year, which caused things to climb a little bit here. And number of new listings, as we can see, that definitely has a seasonality to it at the end of the year, which is where we are right now. So we should see a increase here. I know a lot of folks who had expired on December 31st and January 1st, the biggest day of the year for expired listings. A lot of those folks are holding off for, planning on holding off for 2 or 3 months. And I would say, get in on it now while you have less people jumping into the pool with you. And you will be out there, and when buyers start to come back, you'll be one of the data points the other folks are looking for to tell them to get in. So I wouldn't wait until you hear that homes are selling now. Then it's too late. That's lagging data. That's old data you're hearing at that point. Seeing this right here and seeing these patterns just repeat, tell you that now is the time to get in there and beat your brethren to the table, so to speak. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've got here the median price of sold units, which is the blue line, median price of sold units. So that is the price that homes are selling for, the median price right in the middle. I use the median price rather than the average because those luxury homes kind of skew that number up to well over $500,000. And this median price of sold units is $425,000. And the median is right in the middle of houses above and houses below selling prices. So the median price of sold units is the blue line here. And this is our reality. This is what buyers are actually paying for homes. So it's a very important data point here, this blue line. And we can plainly see how prices began to come down in June of 2022. And gosh, we were on a one heck of a ride up there from 2012, weren't we? Gosh, that trend line you placed right in there. Really something. I just kind of jumped up here towards the end, of course, and that's why we're coming back down. But we're basically on that trend line right now. We're back to being right where we should be there. If you ask me, it looks like we've come down and looks like we're right where we should be to continue that trend line in its normal trajectory. And the downturn here is indeed a result of seasonal occurrences. As you can see, from June, we just kind of turned and went on down, June of 2022. and also the result of rates, which occurred right around that time when the Fed started raising the rates and mortgage rates started to climb due to that fact. Now, we also have the median price of available units, which is the green line, and that is the asking price, the median asking price of for sale units. So we can see what happens here as we're in our normal markets, we're more or less in a standard distance, I would say, from each other here, a ratio. Kind of, we're up and down, of course, nothing's going to be steady, but we can see how they relate to one another as time goes on. And then we can see how even the asking prices climbed to a very, very large high compared to the actual selling prices. And now we have come back down, and we're getting back to a more normal market right now. So the green line, this is often referred to by realtors as fantasy land. And this is what sellers wish to sell their homes for. And we can see that as rates were low, there was a larger gap between the data points and the median price of sold units. And now that the gap between these two data points is narrowing right here. So this is a reflection of how sellers now have to deal with higher rates for the buyers, more time on market, etc. And that's how I'm interpreting that anyway. So now we have our final graph, and this is the months of inventory. So this displays the number of units that we have for sale divided by the number of units sold in a month, tells us how long it would take to sell through all of that inventory. So we can see here that we did get up 2022, we came in, and boy, we did climb there at some rate, didn't we? Gosh, that's our highest level, I would say, going all the way back here to early 2011. So that's an 11-year chasing it right there. I don't think that we eclipsed that point, but we darn near did, didn't we? So we were up to 4.8 months, I believe it was, in November. And in December, we came back down to 4 months of inventory on the market. So it would take us 4 months to sell through all the inventory if we were still selling at the same pace as we did in December. So when there's changes and drastic changes that we've seen as we did in 2022, it is a shock to the system, and everybody has to get used to how things have changed again. I mean, this period from early 21 through early 22, boy, oh boy, that was a heck of a time. And that's the abnormal part right there, because you can see that the months of inventory at that stage, gosh, that's the lowest we've got on record back there. So when things change, it is a shock, and it takes a while for people to get used to what's going on. We're not in some crazy buyer's market right now, I wouldn't say. No, 4 months of inventory is approaching a balanced market, to be honest with you. So we've come down here. We'll have to see what January brings. I'm taping this on the 24th of January, 2023. So we were up to 4.8 months in November and have come down to 4 months in December. But think about it, buyers have pulled back quite a bit. The inventory is still shortening. So think about that. Not many people are purchasing homes. We saw that. But the inventory is not blowing out here to rates unseen before. We don't have 12 months of inventory on the market. We've still only got 4 months of inventory. Technically, that's still basic. That's still in a slight seller's market there. Some people can call that a very balanced market. I'll accept it's a balanced market at that point. That's fine. But we're not in some out of whack crazy buyer's market by any means, I wouldn't say. So what's going to happen when we get into March, April, May, and the buyers are back out looking for new homes due to seasonality, because that's what they do every year. We saw those data points previously on those other graphs, what happens every year. So we're approaching the time where those graphs start to head up once again. And the people who are current homeowners and have mortgage rates at 3%, are they going to want to sell their home and now get a 6% mortgage? High fives, mid sixes, somewhere in there, and give up that 3% mortgage that they have? I'm sure that that's keeping a lot of people from listing their homes. And like we had said earlier, a lot of folks do have to sell and buy for whatever reason. Familiar, things just happen in life and you have to do it. So that still takes place every day. People are buying and selling homes no matter what. Remember, 18% mortgages, people were buying and selling homes. So you do have to do it. Rates are not that crazy right now. We've seen rates like this before. So, what is going to happen March, April, and May when the buyers come back? Are we going to have another shortage of homes on the market? So what is holding buyers back from jumping in with 2 feet? What can we do immediately now to help ease the pain of this payment shock from rates? You've probably already heard me mention in other videos a thing called the 2-1 buy downs. That's gotten popular right now. So they're quite popular right now. And one thing you must be aware of, even though your payments will be lower for the first 2 years of your loan, you still need to qualify as if you will be paying at the full rate right from the start. So qualifying standards remain in place for this. You have to qualify for the full payment, even though you won't be paying that full payment for the first 2 years. And the 2-1 buy down, that's paid for by the seller. And is something which we would negotiate into the purchase agreement. I usually estimate the cost of the seller to be 2.25% of the loan amount. So the less of a down payment that the buyer puts down, the more it will cost the seller. So year one, the buyer's payment is made as if the loan was issued at 2 percentage points lower than the actual. So if you were to qualify for today's average rate of 6.23%, that's the rate today, June 24th, 2023, your payment would reflect as if you were paying on a loan issued at 4.23% for the first year. So the actual rate that you got your loan with perfect credit is 6.23%. But you would be paying for the first 12 months, the first year of that loan, you would only be paying as if the rate was 4.23% for that first year. And I'll show you shortly exactly what that looks like here on a little chart I drew up. And then on year 2, the buyer's payment is made as if the loan was issued at 1 point lower than the actual. So if you were to qualify for today's average rate of 6.23%, your payment would reflect as if you were paying on a loan issued at 5.23% for the second year of the loan. So let's see what that looks like on this median priced home of $425,000. So if I have up top here, you can see this little cursor, purchase price, $425,000. Let's see if I can highlight that for you there. There we go, $425,000. DP percentage, down payment, 20%. Down payment dollar figure that would equal to $85,000. That's 20% of a $425,000 home. That's for a 30-year term loan. And the total loan amount would be $340,000. So that's how much the borrower would be borrowing. Down here, we have our payments calculated. So this is our principal and interest, taxes, and insurance in here. So at 6.23%, that's the amount that we, that's today's actual amount. So the full payment for that would be $24.35. That's principal and interest, taxes, and insurance. That doesn't include HOA or anything else like that. $24.35 would be the payment, the full payment. So in the first year, with the 2-point discount, that would be $2,014 per month, excuse me, for the first 12 months. And then we would have a payment of $2,219 for the 13th through 24th month of payments. For the second year of payments 13 through 24 out of the 360. So first year with the 2-1 buy down, $425,000 house, 20% down payment, 30-year term loan, borrowing $340,000 with a 2-1 first year, first 12 payments, $2,014. Payments 13 through 24, $2,219. And then come to month number 25, it would revert back to the full payment of $24.35. Now, how does this happen? Well, the seller's paying it. The seller pays the difference every month between your full payment and the short payment right here. So that's the contribution. So it adds up to on this loan right here, it adds up to $76.44. I'll say roughly. I'm not the mortgage person. I did these calculations myself here on this spreadsheet. So, and that of course is 2.25% of the loan. So, yeah, so I have it figured out there, and it did come out to 2.25 perfectly right there. So, that's how it works. That's $76.44. If it is that, I'm not saying it's definitely that amount. So please don't hold me to anything like that. Your mortgage broker, of course, will tell you exactly what's going on. I am not a mortgage representative in any sense of the word, not licensed at all with that. So, but what happens is that amount goes into a fund, and every month they withdraw the difference between what your payment is and what your payment should be, and make up the difference and send that off. So everything's cool. Now, if we look down here with the purchase price of $425,000 again, and we have a down payment of only 10% instead of this 20%. Let me try a different color here to get us going. How's that green? Look, that's a good one, isn't it? Feel like that painter guy. That's a pretty green. Huh? Let's throw a bush over here or something, right? $425,000, 10% down payment, which means a down payment of $42,500, half of our $85,000 down payment up top. Same 30-year term. Now we've got a loan balance of $382,500 when we're starting off. And our normal payment, due to that 10% down payment, our payment would now be $26.96, almost $2,700, $24.35 here with a 20% down payment, $26.96 with the 10% down payment. So if we do the same thing, 6.23% rate, 4.23%, 5.23% in the first and second years, our payment would be in the 2223 amount right here for 4.23 versus the $2,014. And at the 5.23 percent term, that would be 2453. Actually more than this whole payment here, huh? 2453 for months 13 through 24, as opposed to 2696. And the seller contribution would jump up to 8592. Right there, 8592 on the seller contribution. And that again is 2.25%. So this 8592 each month, the difference between 2696 and what you're paying would be subtracted out of this money being held on the side, and would be sent off to the bank to make up the difference there, so you don't get charged and held anything against you. And that's how that works, folks, right there. So I hope that helps you out understanding what goes on with that right there. If there's any mortgage folks looking at this, please let me know if I made any mistakes in the comments. I apologize if I did. Like I said, I am not a mortgage representative in any sense of the word. So I hope you enjoyed that, folks, right there. And I hope that was informative to you. I hope I didn't go on too long. I hope that that helps folks see what's going on here and provide a little bit clearer picture of what's happening here with seasonality, what's going on with rates, some options that we have here with the 2-1 buy down. If you're a seller, I mean, most offers are asking for this 2-1 buy down, unless of course it's a cash offer, you don't get it. But anything with a loan on it is now asking for this on a regular basis. So if you're a seller, don't be surprised if you see someone ask for that. Other than that, if you're selling, let's get your home on the market. Let's get it out there while you have less competition. While folks start to come back to the market, back into the market, let's have your home out there and let folks see it and let's get it sold. And if you're a buyer, hey, let's do some things like asking for this 2-1 buy down. Let's help you out here. Let's try to get you in there while we have a good amount of inventory on the market here, rather than chance ending up in a little bit more of a market that is less advantageous to you as we move into the springtime. So thanks very much. Thank you for watching very much. Please go ahead and share if you can. Subscribe to my channel. Please give me a like. And I hope to hear from you soon. Feel free to give me a call, write me an email, whatever you got to do right here. Would love to hear from you. Let's go out there and make some good investments, build some wealth in real estate. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.